May profits be upon you. We're going to go over every forecast that I gave this past weekend. All right. Usually I divide it into two separate areas, uh, the market forecast and then the Forex forecast. Well, I'm just doing everything from top to bottom, all of these. All right. We're just going to take a quick look at it and, get an update. And this will possibly help us prepare for uh, where the market might go when NFP news is announced tomorrow. Non-farm payroll. All right, I want you to look out for that news. You don't want to be in the market when that news pops tomorrow, and that should happen uh, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. All right, so uh, let's take a look at the S&P. S&P. I'm looking at the 4 hour and down. I might take a peek at the daily, but so far, we had that SMT, that smart money technique. I went into a little detail on the forecast. Make sure you look at that forecast for the market. All right, the weekly market forecast. All right. So we have the SMT with NASDAQ. NASDAQ was took that did not take that low, but it gave us a clue as to which way price would go because it hit a very important fair value gap here. All right, if you look on the daily, you'll see that there's a nice size fair value gap there. I won't go back, but yeah. So what are we looking at now? We see the Monday gap down. All right, the gap open, which was immediately closed with a lot of momentum. Look at that candle leaving a fair value gap along the way. And then our price pulls back into it, uses it to move higher, creating a nice demand zone to pop off of to take out these highs. And here we are now, right? Which way are we going? I don't know. But what I want you to see is we have a um, a draw on liquidity. All right, that'll be our buy side liquidity target. And where would our sell side liquidity target be? I'm thinking it would be this low. All right, and this low going into. I'm looking for an area of demand that price could, want to reach down, touch, and then pop from. All right. Now, this one is where you can see price then dropping from. Right. You reach the buy side, sweep it, and then we can head on down. All right. But the bias tomorrow, we're in the middle of this back and forth here. So you want to be careful. All right. I'm looking at sell side targets. And once I see those sell side targets, that's when I start thinking, okay, are we going to trade through that sell side target, or are we just going to wick through, which would indicate that price has some more business to take care of higher, right? Uh, so yeah, this one's not as easy. We're in a fair value gap here right now that price is using to quite possibly to move higher, and we'll see how that goes in the morning, right? If we look at NQ, not too different. All right, we see the gap down, we see the closure, and we see that higher high, higher low to the upside. I think we are targeting that buy side liquidity, just like in uh, the S&P, and these equal highs up here are going to be some very good targets for liquidity for sure, along with this one as buy side liquidity uh, is concerned. All right. On the weekly, we also have this fair value gap here. Sorry about weird curvature there. That price could definitely come down and then go up higher from. So I'm looking at these areas. All right. I'm looking at these buy to sell here. this sell before the buy up. This whole area here is a an area of demand. If price comes down in here, uh, come news, I'm looking for price to find its footing and come and go higher. If it breaks this low, if it breaks this low and trades through it with a close and all on the 4 hour, then we're probably going for the sweep to these lows. Yeah, yeah, I like that. The Dow, you see the gap, the close of the gap. We run into this area of supply with it and breaking structure here to go higher. Yeah, all up in here. This supply zone. I'm thinking that as price comes back to test this area of demand, and you see this bullish response so far, it looks like we're heading up higher. I'm bullish in all the indices right now. All right, we'll see what the market does after NFP tomorrow. I'll be looking at these lows for a liquidity sweep and then a continuation higher if the NFP takes a bearish turn, but I'm looking for that to turn around. We'll see, but I am bullish. If we're looking at oil, oil has been very bearish, and I've talked about why it would be bearish in the market forecast. Please go ahead and review that. All right, but it's been very bearish for a good while now, so since January, the middle of, and we've gotten nothing but that. All right, I'm looking for where would an area in this bullish leg, where would price turn around? Right around here. This is where I think it would turn around. Right? That is an area of fair value, and we are coming right upon that. All right, I have this little area there. It's an area of demand, and we're getting ready to tap into that. I think right in this area here, we might see a pullback. You might see a pullback start. All right, and we can go up into this area of supply. All right, there's an area of supply here, and then we'll probably continue bearish, going with the current trend. All right, now if this is a reversal, we'll see a strong close and then a pullback, and that's when I'll start thinking that okay, prices are retracing. All right, and I'll be looking to target this area of supply, but I will wait until this high is taken out first before I start thinking that way. Okay. Right now, I am bearish, and until the market tells us different. Gold, we've been bullish, and we've been at all-time highs. Obviously, we took that high a good while ago. Over here, we took that high. When was this? The end of January, right? And you see the high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It looks like we're going for another higher high. That's what it looks like. I'm going to be bullish until price takes out that low. Price takes out that low. If that would mean this, it would take out this low, which would mean a market structure shift. All right, a respect of the demand that broke this low. Showing respect here would mean a double market structure shift. All right, this is two fractal breaks. All right, breaks of these fractal lows. All right, and that's when I start thinking that price is starting to going to start retracing. And but until that happens, I am bullish, and I'm looking for price to break that high. God dog it. I'm looking for price to break this high. All right. If price breaks this high, I didn't mean to use that. If price breaks that high, All right, I'm looking for the demand that caused it, and I'll be looking here. All right, I'm looking for the low, the last low that broke that high. That would be this one, not so much this one. This is the last low that broke this high, and that's how it is right now. And I would be looking for price to come back here to find support to go to higher prices. So I am definitely looking to target this high as a liquidity point, a buy side liquidity. All right, but I need to see a fractal structure break, a pullback into the demand, and then we push higher. Okay, silver. Where we got on silver, very similar. All right, you can see price did not take that high yet, and we're heading towards it. You can see easily that we make a high, a higher low, a higher high. All right, now this one, this pullback came below this low. All right, came below that low. That I can't take longs until that's rectified. The only thing that rectifies that is a breaking of that high, just like in gold. Once price breaks this high and pulls back into this demand that I have already marked out, all right, once it pulls back into that demand area, that area of demand, I'm looking for it to turn around and take out the buy side liquidity. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm bullish until, I'm bullish in this market. Right now, it is bearish because it took out this low. That's a market structure shift, as slight as it may be. All right, but I need an opposing one in order to negate that. Right? If we look at platinum, you can see I'm looking for the highs. I'm looking for price to move higher. All right. There's an area of demand here in green that I have highlighted, and price has not returned to it. Price is in this supply right here, right now, you know, jousting about. But I'm looking for price to sweep these lows for liquidity, tap into the demand here, and then push higher. That's what I'm looking for. That's simple. That's it. All right. And we'll see how that goes. All right. If we look at copper has already hit that high. We've taken the external range liquidity already. Why is that there? All right. The external range liquidity already. We're taking it. All right. So price has to pull into an internal range liquidity, which is a fair value gap. It skipped this one. Oops. Sorry. You can see that it didn't skip it. It violated this bullish fair value gap here. It found support in this one here. All right. And you see it's trying to push higher. All right. We got some interference running into this bearish fair value gap there. Right. But can this turn out to be the CSID? Can this turn out to be the area that price gets below and then continues down, or are we going to continue higher? The other metals look more bullish. All right. This one is considered bullish, but we are right now, the fractal structure is bearish until this high is broken. All right. Because we did hit a bullish fair value gap. All right. But the fractal structure has created a market structure shift here. So it's going up into supply. It could turn right around here. So I'm watching for that. So I'm not doing anything, all right, until this high is broken before I start thinking bullish, looking for buys. All right, I got to see something happening in here that says, oh, let me pull back, and then we take that. Now that's a fractal high being taken and it's also a market structure shift, I would be inclined to take a buy there. So we'll see how it develops here. Okay. I do like the fact that it is bouncing on this fair value gap, but it also took out one. That's a bearish indication for me. But so it gives me pause. I want to take buys when my time frames are lined up. Now we got to speed up. I got 15. Doggone. All right. So this is the US dollar index. I told you it was heading down after it hit this big area of supply, and it's continued to do so. It came all the way back up here for Monday, and then you see the drop. And I said it was going to drop, and it's continued to drop. That's great. All right. It stayed below the protected high, and I'm looking for more bearishness. That's it. All right. I have a daily fair value gap here that price I pointed out in the last update video that it was going to hit and start to turn bearish, and that's what it's doing. All right, and I'm expecting it to take out this low here. I'm expecting it to take out that low and come towards that low. Okay, let me get that a dollar sign. Let's move on. Euro looking the exact opposite. It came and swept that low hanging fruit here for a touch to the demand, and you saw the push up closing the gap on Monday, and we are pushing higher because the US dollar is getting weaker, and we are now touching a area of demand. I'm looking for price to push higher. Yes, it did take out that low hanging fruit here, the low resistance liquidity run to mitigate this bullish fair value gap. I'm looking for price to continue higher. Yes. Okay. The British pound, same deal. Not really. British pound has some headwinds here, running into a fair value gap, a bearish one here. All right, but we'll see if it can break this high in order to have a bullish market structure shift to see if it heads up higher as the dollar is weaker. Aussie dollar, I'm looking for price to pull back because this is the area, there's a demand area here that price reacted to, but there's a larger demand that was never touched. I'm thinking price is probably going to touch down and then pull up into that. I am bullish in this market. All right, that's what I'm watching out for. New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar is very much the same. There's an area here that price found demand. There's a lower area of demand here that price has not touched. I'm thinking that it will not go untouched. If it does, it takes that high, then I'm waiting for the pullback into that demand area for higher prices. But I am bullish overall. Canadian dollar, same thing. You can see the area was not touched. We are bearish. We have a bearish market structure shift here. All right, I'm looking for price to make its way down and then push higher to that buy side liquidity. Same thing with the Swiss franc. All right, you can see price swept these lows here, and we are in a bearish market structure shift. I'm looking for price to make its way down to the demand, just like in the other ones, to go higher. Just look at the range: premium, discount. This is equilibrium, and all we got to do is go past that 50% of the range, and we can start looking for buys. The yen. All right, I'm looking for higher prices. We have an area of demand right below where price is running into this supply. So I'm waiting for price to push down and then higher. Okay, and that's it. That's it on the futures. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give a like and a boost. If you like to see more content, do make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if you've been following any of these particular trades, and if you found some success. Give me a screenshot of drop a link, a trading view link to your successful trade. A nice screenshot. And I will see you in the next video. may profits be upon you.